Good evening and welcome to the Evening News' Weekend Review for the week ending Saturday, February 2nd, 2018. I'm Shemuel Fanfare. Thanks so much for joining us. For the next 30 minutes, we'll recap some of the top stories that were featured during the past week. We begin by telling you that Guyana hosted the 17th session of the Committee for the Review of the Implementation of the Convention, CRIC, spearheaded by the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. The opening ceremony unfolded on Monday at the Artichon Convention Center at Liliandale with the attendance of representatives from over 125 countries. Here's Rupasina Ryan with that report.
Some 125 countries are participants in the CRIC 17 conference, which has received major support from the People's Republic of China and CARICOM member states. The feature address was shared by Minister of State Joseph Harmon, who noted that Guyana is aware of the importance of implementing the United Nations Convention to combat desertification. The country has been engaged by Norway, the Netherlands, Germany, and Japan to preserve forestry resources, which shows its commitment towards environmental development.
Evidence of the importance of Guyana's role as a partner in the global environmental movement can be seen in our agreements that we have made and entered into with the Kingdom of Norway, the Netherlands, Germany, and Japan, as well as international organizations such as Conservation International for the protection of our forests.
Harmon posited that any act to eliminate or prevent desertification and other climate-related issues are supported by Guyana.
Guyana therefore endorses and fully supports the UNCCD's vision, which is to support the development and implementation of national and regional policies, programs, and measures to prevent, control, and reverse desertification and land degradation, and mitigate the effects of drought.
CRIC is referred to as a subsidiary body of the Conference of Parties, and Guyana is the first English-speaking Caribbean country to have acceded the membership of the CRIC Bureau. Special attention will be paid to drought and the approaches which can be used once the area is monitored. The importance lies within practices which can alleviate droughts beforehand via improvised techniques in farming and land management. Rupa Sinarain, The Evening News.
On Tuesday, reported that the family of a man who died while in custody of the Sparendam police is demanding a thorough and independent investigation into the death of her son, Kalicharan Shrawak, 39, who died on Monday afternoon at the Georgetown Public Hospital. A distraught and tearful mother, Ramde Sawak, is calling for a thorough investigation into her son's untimely death.
It, make problem coursing and break the window. Yes, and we call the police. And they carry, and Monday was the case, and we get, when the magistrate call up, he said that he in the hospital, and we go to the hospital, and he bleeding from his eye and his head, and he's not talking, and the eye closed.
Sawak said she was shocked to see her son in a critical state at hospital, mere days after being locked up in a healthy condition. She told the Evening News that she tried to inquire from the police what may have caused him to be rushed to the ICU. Sawak recalled being told by police at the Sparendam police station, where he was being held in custody for disorderly behavior, that he inflicted the injuries on himself. According to the mother, the officers claimed that her son, who was intoxicated, was hitting his head against the walls of the cell, so they separated him from the other inmates and placed him in a cell of his own, but he continued to bang his head on the wall. Sawak further explained that her daughter took food for him at the station on Sunday, and she was not allowed to see him. The mother said that her daughter was told to leave the food because it was too early and they would have given it to him. The mother is contending that her son is not insane and would have never inflicted injuries to his body, to the extent where it would lead him to be admitted to the ICU. She is therefore calling for an impartial investigation to be done.
We don't think he would hit the head like that. But God knows. Only God knows. Because when he go to the hospital, he couldn't talk or open his eye.
Shemuel Fanfare, The Evening News. As there continues to be security concerns, School of the Nations remained closed during last week, while an agreement between the Education Ministry and the Guyana Police Force saw enhanced police presence at both private and public secondary schools in the city. On Wednesday, reported that several persons have been questioned so far as the police continues to investigate alleged threats made against the private institution and the subsequent shooting of its director, Dr. Brian O'Toole. More in this Vanu Manichand report.
We have embarked on an investigation. What I can say is that we have taken some action. We've contacted a few persons. There are some others that we're pursuing, and it's an ongoing investigation.
How many persons have been questioned or detained so far?
We have detained, I think, to date, well, not detained, we've questioned at least 4 persons, to my knowledge.
According to the top cop, those 4 persons were both current and former students of the private school. He noted that as the probe continues, investigators are making progress.
We've been having cooperation, so I can say it's a progressive investigation.
But in terms of finding the perpetrators?
Well, it's a matter where there will have to be eventually confrontation because of what is alleged. So eventually, I'm sure it will result with some success. We've been having some inroads.
There's cybersecurity department that's been assisting?
Yes. As you know, we have disclosed in the past, and we do still have a cybercrime unit, and it's very active in this investigation. We sought and we've obtained some other assistance other than within the Guyana Police Force.
Furthermore, Commissioner James added that investigators are still trying to ascertain whether the threats against the school, which were posted on social media, is linked to the shooting of its director last Sunday.
We have not seen such, but the fact that someone was shot and it has to do, well, he is the principal of that said school. We have considered that it can be a link. However, when we've spoken to Mr. O'Toole, based on his description and his further explanation, so far it seems as though we're looking for a different person.
Reporting for Earth Evening News, Vanu Manichand.
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with more.